seen in action. Came back in 2008, received orders to be the platoon commander of a West Coast-based SEAL team. The officer in charge of an 18-man SEAL platoon, directly responsible for mission planning, execution, the safety and well-being of the members of the platoon, the responsibility for lives. This was the pinnacle in my career at this point of leadership and responsibility. And honestly, if I could only have one worthwhile deployment, I would want it to be this one, when there is so much on the line, so much challenge from a leadership perspective, but also so much reward. We went through an 18-month workup. We went through all the blocks of training that a SEAL platoon goes through in order to be certified and to be ready to deploy. We did very well. We were selected to go on a high-risk deployment to Afghanistan. We would be conducting capture-kill missions against Taliban and Al-Qaeda personnel. We would have dedicated helicopters, MH-47s, the twin-blade overhead helicopters, flown by the best helicopter pilots in the world, the Army's 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment. It would be dedicated to us, to fly us where we needed to go, when we needed to go there. This is a dream come true deployment for a Navy SEAL. It doesn't get any better than this. All the stars are lining up finally, 7 years into my career. Now, as the officer in charge of the platoon, it was very important for me to go out in advance of the rest of the platoon, so I could learn the lay of the land, see how the SEAL platoon that we were replacing was planning and conducting operations, meet the key players, and be ready when my platoon showed up. So that's what I did. I deployed early, shortly after Labor Day weekend, September 2009, 10 and a half years ago. I got on the ground in Afghanistan. Pretty quickly, the SEAL platoon that we would be replacing, which was married up with one other SEAL platoon, we're both going to go out on a combined operation. I sat in on the mission briefing. This was the objective. Conduct a helicopter infiltration. We would fly in the helicopters, touch down, disembark, foot patrol to a designated point. I would be in an observational role, not in a leadership role. Part of a 10-man element. I would go with that element to a hilltop which looked over the target compound, the area that the rest of the SEAL assault force would assault. We would climb to the top of this hill where we knew from satellite imagery there was a crumbled Soviet fort from the days when the Russians occupied Afghanistan. This needed to be clear. We needed to make sure that no one was up there. You want the high ground. It's a tactical advantage. Once we completed our objective, we radioed down to the assault force. They would commence assault before first light. Mission brief concludes. We go to our plywood huts, grab our kit up, conduct comms checks, make sure our radio's good to go, load the Toyota Tacoma trucks, drive over to the flight line, load the helicopters, the two MH-47 helicopters, get in, take off. Sitting there, I'm in night vision goggles. Everything's green, black, it's loud. We have communications. Just kind of hearing their pilot chatter. Everyone's there in their own world. Some guys are going over their kit. Some are looking at battle maps. Some are just alone in their own thoughts. It's a 45-minute ride sitting there. Helicopters touch down. We get out. Foot patrol. Helicopters take off. We foot patrolled several kilometers under cover of darkness, quiet. At this point, it's about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. People should be asleep then. We get to the designated point. The 10-man element that I'm a part of detaches from the main assault force. We proceed single file towards that hilltop. We were led by a Navy explosive ordnance disposal technician, not a SEAL, but a highly trained individual trained to detect and disarm ordnance. He was sweeping, we were covering. Everything's on night vision, green and black. It's a moonless night, planned it that way. It's dark. It took about 15 minutes to get to the top of this hill. We got to the top of it, we fanned out in order to clear this Russian fort. Proceeded forward. Everything's green and black. Next thing I knew, all of a sudden, a flash of light under my night vision goggles. On the ground, wondering what happened. Disoriented. It occurred to me, I must have stepped on a pressure plate. Pressure plate. Underground, can't see it, it's buried. The weight of a human or an object up above presses the plate down. The two plates make a connection, and a bomb goes off. Unbeknownst to us at the time, this bomb was actually two 105mm artillery shells wired together. The second one didn't explode. The first one did, but low order, meaning not all of the explosive powder detonated. Had this whole thing gone off, it's enough to destroy an armored Humvee. Laying there on the ground, realizing this just happened. Wondering, are my teammates okay? I need them. I also need to radio out and man down so that everyone knows what is happening. I reach up for my push to talk, which is what keys the radio. It's not there. My hands knew where it was supposed to be and it wasn't there. In addition, my night vision goggles are gone. The helmet is off of my head. It seems like it is totally rearranged. Nothing is where it's supposed to be. I can't see anything. It's dark. I can't move. Only my arms work. For a moment, laying there, I felt utterly helpless. I couldn't do anything. Next thing I knew, my teammates were upon me. Corey, the SEAL medic, started asking me questions. Questions that I couldn't answer. I had a foggy mind. He started doing a full body exam to see the extent of the damage. He decided to apply a tourniquet. A tourniquet, is, most of you probably know, is meant to cut off blood flow. We always carry tourniquets on us. We use them in training, in man-down scenarios, but we're never allowed to crank them down in training because of the damage they inflict. Corey broke out a tourniquet and applied one to my left limb. He wrenched it down as hard as he possibly could to cut off all the blood flow. I had not been in pain up until this point. The blast left me in shock, but I wasn't feeling pain. Now, with the application of this first tourniquet, I started to feel pain in a real way. He applied that first tourniquet, and then he applied another, and another, and another, and another, and another. 6 total, 3 on each limb. This was a lot of pain. That log that I told you about a few minutes ago, that was a lot of pain. I had no idea the world of pain that I was about to enter in a couple of minutes. You see, there was a mad scramble to get a helicopter back to extricate me from this situation. As per the mission plan, the helicopters that had dropped us off had gone back to Kandahar Airfield, touched down, refueled, unloaded several dozen Army Green Beret soldiers and Afghan commando soldiers, lifted off and was bringing them back. They were going to touch down and be a cordon blocking force when the target assault commenced. So there's already a helicopter airborne and coming back. But time was of the essence. The SEAL ground force commander down below in the compound area radioed up to my teammates that the helicopter is not going to land at the top of this hilltop. It's too dangerous, nor is it going to hover. The rest of the SEALs who are going to conduct the target assault down below are instead going to secure a helicopter landing zone, a suitably flat and safe place for the helicopter to land. Radios up to my teammates up on that hilltop. Get him down ASAP. They decided to lift me up, but it's dark. The descent was very steep and it was very rocky. We just kept falling and stumbling. It wasn't working. It wasn't working. So they did the last resort, which is the body drag. It's something we also do in training during man-down scenarios. They grabbed me by my kit and started pulling me face up, back to the earth, down this dark, deep, dark descent. When I say the tourniquets were painful, yes, but I had no idea of this world of pain I was about to enter. Every rock was craggy, cutting into my body like knives. This descent took so long, but in a way that's hard to explain because I had no conception of time. My whole world was consumed and inundated by this pain, but also by Corey's words. He was there by my side the entire way, telling me to stay awake, stay awake, stay awake. I had not the slightest thought of not making it through this, not seeing my family again. It just wasn't there. My world was consumed by this drag. It took about 15 or 20 minutes. It's all I could do not to scream out. You see, there's enemy around, I needed to be quiet. Meanwhile, the helicopter is circling, just waiting on me to get down to this HLZ. It can't just sit down and wait. It's too dangerous for the helicopter. So it's overhead. Now, it got to within 1 minute of reaching bingo fuel. Bingo fuel is the point at which the onboard flight calculator tells the pilot, you must go back to the original point from where you took off. Otherwise, it will drop out of the sky. It is a hard stop, you must go back. It's non-negotiable. Within 1 minute, my teammates got me down to the HLZ, the helicopter touches down, they dragged me in the back, I shook my friend's hand, a light in my face, and then blackness, emptiness. The next thing I know, coming to what appears to be a hospital room, and my mother's face is right